I'm John Hanna for CDTV.net here in New York City, and we have Greg Womack, president of Womack Investment Advisors, joining us from. He's traveling right now in Maryland. Good morning. How you doing?
We're doing fine.
Great.
Beautiful morning out here.
Yeah.
We're out on the eastern shore, having just a couple of days here, and head back to Oklahoma Tuesday.
So what do you have for us today?
Well, John, okay, just taking a look at last week. The Dow crept over 13,000, and after it hit a year-long high, and it really couldn't hold on to that level, through the closing bell. The Nasdaq saw its highest close since 2000. And so, and then we had last week some energy concerns with tensions over Iran helped send the oil over to $109 a barrel. As of last week, the Dow was up about 6.2% for the year, Nasdaq 13.7%, S&P 8.6%, and we had the Russell 2000 up 11.61%. So, really strong year to date. Really 5 months, the Dow has made gains. And so we had treasuries were off a little bit last week. They finished the prior week at 2.01 and finished last week at 1.98% on the 10-year treasury. That did close in 2011 at 1.89, so interest rates are up about 10 basis points since then. So we take a look at some of the headlines last week. We had the Realtor Association said that home resales saw a pretty good increase, 4.3%, and that's the third increase in the past 4 months. The average price of the homes has come down from $154,700. Actually, it came down about 2% from last year's $157,900, so $157,900. We also had sales of new homes down in January for the first time in 5 months, and but they're still about 3.5% higher than the year before. And the new average home price is $217,000. It's down about 9.6% from last year. So some of the big news out of Washington was President Obama's proposed menu of sweeping changes in the corporate tax code. Of course, anything that any reform would have to go through Congress. It outlined some of the proposals of cutting the top corporate tax rate from 35 to 28, eliminating certain deductions and tax credits for the oil and gas industry, and making clean energy incentives permanent. Also simplifying tax filing for small businesses and expanding their ability to expense investments. So we'll see how this whole budget deal works out, but there were some pretty significant items in that proposal. You had the G20 nations postponed until April a decision on committing additional resources to the International Monetary Fund, saying they wanted to gauge the progress of rescue efforts within the Eurozone itself. And also the European Commission predicted stagnating growth in the EU and a mild recession for the Eurozone this year. As we look ahead this week, John, we'll have some economic data on the GDP. We'll have the fourth quarter second estimate. Also, data on manufacturing, personal income, and housing will shed light on the likelihood of continued economic growth. And oil will be watched also for its potential impact on gas prices in the recovery. So really some pretty good economic data for this week. We got durable good orders, home prices, and consumer confidence on the 28th, and then we have the second estimate of fourth quarter domestic product on the Fed's book release on the 29th. Auto sales and personal income spending, U.S. manufacturing and construction on the 1st, which is Thursday. Okay. I was just going to say, John, we've had the markets substantially increase over the last several months. without a significant pullback. And so, I just look at the charts and say at some point, we should get a 5 to 10% pullback, which would be healthy for the markets. But for much of what I see, it looks like we could have some continued upside longer term this year. But I would anticipate some type of pullback eventually, and that would just be opportunities to add to positions. And so I encourage people to keep some dry powder and keep your watch list growing.
There you go. Greg Womack, President of Womack Investment Advisors, currently joining us from Maryland. He's traveling today. And I'm John Hanna for CDTV.net in New York City.